Hi, my name is Kees, and today I'd like to talk about the power of presence. It's an enormous thing to be present in the moment, wherever you are. And it sounds, as some of you might have read The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, there's a sense or a sort of cliche to live in the moment or to be present. And I think oftentimes that cliche is not really understood because there's this sense of being in the moment, and of course you cannot not be in the moment, because anytime you're alive you're in the moment, because there's only one moment, and that's the now, the current moment you're in. So you can't not be in the present, or you can't not be in the moment. But what we're talking about when we're talking about the power of the present and being in the present, we're talking about being focused on what currently is in our body, in our surroundings, in our thoughts, in our feelings, and to be actively watching that. Meaning not to be sort of focused on something which makes you lose focus. For example, if you're on your phone, you often can't see what other people say to you. Let's say you have headphones on, it's hard to hear other people. And sometimes that's totally fine. There are lots of times when it's totally fine to just be concentrated, you could say, or focused on something else. Let's say you're working, for example, and you're working in a way where you're working on a certain project which demands a solid one-pointed focus. But there are also other moments, let's say you're not working on a project, where it's good to have a sort of wider focus. And that wider focus is, you could say, the presence or the awareness. Instead of having one pointed focus, or in meditation we call that zooming in, we're zoomed out. We're open. And through this openness, we are easily available to others. We notice different things about other people. We notice different things about ourselves, about our inner life. And this is, I think, one of the most important and underrated things in our current society. We spend an enormous amount of time in this one-pointed focusness, looking at our screens, for example, or doing certain projects for work, where a lot of people focus their whole being in this one point. And what it leads to is that we're too focused on what is happening instead of focused on the presence. So the presence in which everything is happening, in which all actions are happening. And it's easy to be distracted by our phones or by different stimuli we might have. But it's important for us to cultivate relationship with others, with our kids, with our loved ones, to be present and to have this more open, zoomed out awareness. And we can train that with meditation. I think one of the most underrated ways of what meditation is and what meditation does for you is actually to train this presence, is train sort of this very natural awareness of what is happening. You could say even the sensitivity to what is happening with ourselves and others. And to be able to give others your space. To be able to not be distracted, because this one-pointed focus all the time, what it leads to is that if something comes up, let's say a sound or a thought, that we immediately point our focus there, because we're so used to this one-pointed focus that we immediately point our focus again to that one stimuli which comes up. But what if we do not point our focus there, but just see the thing which arises, see the stimuli, but do not sort of immediately put all our attention there, but we stay zoomed out. So what I see with a lot of people's awareness is that they zoom in a lot, and then they zoom out for a second and zoom in on the other thing, zoom out for a second, zoom in on the other thing. So the mind is constantly working. It can never really rest. And what we want to practice is this rest, in which we rest as awareness. And that's something which we can do with meditation, but we can also do that with, not being on our screen so much, or playing, or doing exercise or something like that, where we're not inundated in our thoughts. We're not giving our thoughts all our attention. We're not giving our screens all our attention, but we're just doing this practice, which also meditation does, but we can do that in an active meditation, in a walk, for example, as well, where we rest in that awareness, we rest in the presence, we rest in the thing which we are, which is holding all stimuli, which is holding all thoughts, which is holding all feelings, which is holding the sensations of the body, and to be there. And that power, if we build that power, it brings immense tranquility and love in our life, because we notice that all stimuli arise and they all vanish. So they arise and they pass again, and they arise and they pass again. And that's what continuously happens. And what we notice as well, if we have, for example, some training with fasting, like let's say we fast for a while, then we notice our hunger comes up, but it leaves again, right? It does not have to be taken serious so much. Just like some ideas, they might come up and they pass again. Or the idea, that you need to do something. I still need to do this for my work. I still need to do that for to clean the house or something like that. It passes as well. If we don't immediately zoom in and feel that the need that we have to do this, but we zoom out and we keep ourselves zoomed out and we build this presence, then we can just be with what is. And we sort of stop this firefighting mode of always go, 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 and always be zoomed in and focused, but we can also relax and get some of our, you could say, recharge the brain and get some of our energy back, because we keep our energy and we can selectively focus when we feel it's necessary to focus, instead of just being zoomed in every time, in every moment. So there's a balance between zooming in and zooming out. And that zooming out, that presence, is very important, because the zooming in happens in there. And we need that zooming out as a human as well, to make sure that the system feels safe, that it feels like there is a certain safety to process some of the things which happen to us, to process some of our thoughts, some of the things which maybe recently you had a job change, or you changed your career, or you changed, I don't know, clothing, or, you have something happen to you in your life, or you move from one location to the other, or maybe there's an illness in the family or something like that. These are all things which the brain needs to process, and also if we're zoomed out, we can get lots of intuitions, new ideas, etc. And we don't get them if we just zoom in the whole time. So there's a big benefit to the power of presence, and I hope you invest in it in a way which suits you. Have a great day, and if you have any questions about this video or about the power of presence, send me a DM on Instagram, or schedule a call with me below, or even leave a comment and I'll get back to you. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.